I always ask, Baba. Just
to be on the safer
just
side.
to be, yeah. See, I live in a homonormative world. In my head, everyone is queer. So, but then my friend said, diversity भी कुछ चीज़ है. There are some straight people also.
What do you feel you see?
Adding on to what Parmesh says, it's very funny, not funny, it's strange. I always say about this issue, particularly in India, and some other countries. Even though there is so much of homophobia, this, that, everything in India, but yet India is a country where homosocial behavior is accepted, and you see it publicly. And when I say homosocial, it's like Parmesh says, he sees boys and boys together, so he said, oh, you're gay and this must be your boyfriend. But
holding hands.
Yeah, holding hands,
Western countries.
Yeah. And especially when, I have foreign friends coming over to India, he said, your country has got so many gays and so many lesbians here. Why do you have a problem with that? And then I will tell him, no, they are not gays and they need not be gays and lesbians.
They're just good friends.
Yeah, they're just good friends.
And
they
people
just
hold hands and hug each other all the
hands.
time.
The boys will hold hands with boys, girls will hold hands with girls. But they are not necessarily gays and lesbians. They may be as straight as ever, but they just like it because our country accepts that. Our country doesn't accept heterosocial behavior. When boy and a girl hold hands, the other day I was going in the train and a girl and a boy was like, quite stuck together, and everyone in the train was watching them. As if they have never seen a boy and a girl together, But a boy and a boy will just be stuck together. Nobody is bothered,
Yeah.
So that's the country, that's our culture.
Awesome. So there are a lot of youngsters here, right? And a lot of youngsters nowadays, or either not youngsters, but people who have grown up also, are actually struggling with gender identity. And just because of struggling their gender identity, they actually suffer through a lot of mental health issues also. So what advice would you like to give to this young audience so that they should recognize themselves and accept themselves and make their life much easier? They can
So yeah, because I know, Manav works on this through his trust. So let me just go first. I would say that for all of you in this audience who are LGBTQ, IA++, part of this huge universe, don't ever think you are alone. You're not alone. 6 to 10% of this country is queer statistically, like 6 to 10% of any part of the world is queer, which means, who's good in math? If our population is 1 billion, Manjula, what is 10% of 1 billion? Okay, some students. What is 10% of 1 billion? 100 million. That means 60 to 100 million queer Indians are there. Statistically, scientifically. Means you are not alone. The queer people in India are more than so many countries in the world. So, A, you are not alone, so don't ever feel alone. B, there is always an NGO, a support group, a safe space in your city. In Nagpur, there is a safe space. The founders of the safe space are here. In Jabalpur, in Nasik, in Rourkela, anywhere you go, in Guwahati, of course Bombay, Delhi and so on, so there's multiple. But anywhere you go in the city, some of the most exciting work is happening on the ground across the city. There's Raipur Pride in Chhattisgarh, there's great stuff happening. So A, you are not alone. B, there are strong networks around you. Please tap into them and use them. C, you are right. Everything is on your side. The law is on your side. Everything is on your side. So speak up for your rights because you are in the right now. Everything is behind you. But my more important message to improve the mental health of our LGBTQ people is to the straight people. It is the responsibility of any responsible majority to take care of our minorities. Which means if 6 to 10% of us are queer, 90% of us must be straight. It is not us queer people who have to do all the labor of taking care of ourselves. It is you straight allies who have to make sure that your queer minorities are loved, welcomed, respected, included, so that we can all flourish. Now, for the straight people in the audience, why should you care? I'll tell you. You should care because it's in the constitution, you should care because it's part of your culture. For all of you who are money-minded, you should care because caring about queer people is going to make you lots of money. Since I researched this in my book, the LGBTQ market in India is worth $200 billion. All you straight allies, you want a piece of us? Be inclusive. Not going to come otherwise.
Thank you for the startup idea. All the youngsters in the startup idea you gave.
So, even if you don't care on a humanitarian perspective, care about money, no? So, you should care about us and be better allies to us because we're going to, yeah, so on multiple accounts you should care and it is your responsibility as straight people to care. That's my funda. We don't want to be doing this burden of taking care of ourselves so much all the time, yeah.
Yeah, very true. Money matters a lot, you know. I mean, I could see the claps when we talk
So
about,
capitalist.
Yeah, we talked about money, and it is very true. I mean, I've gone to so many conferences abroad and everywhere. Wherever I've gone, the world, the economy, they always talk about giving rights to the LGBT community to improve the economy of any culture in the world. So it's high time you guys, start thinking about this. If you really want Indian economy to grow and to beat the other parts of the world, start recognizing us, start accepting us.
Yeah.
It will definitely.
Can I just add, the World Bank did a study some years ago saying that if India was more LGBTQ friendly, our GDP would go up by 1 to 2%. Hashtag just saying.
Yeah, World Bank. I also read that study. So yeah, my other thing which I would like to tell about the question which Kautilya asked was for any kind of issues, you need to first accept yourself. Self-acceptance is very important, and not accepting yourself gives rise to a lot of mental health issues. And there was a study has been done. I am forgetting the name of this university where they took random sample and they found out that a lot of homophobia comes from the homosexual themselves because you are not able to accept yourself, so you don't want others also to accept. So you need to accept yourself, accept the truth, accept the reality. It will make things much easier for you. And then if you want to tell others, that's up to you. But self-acceptance is very important. That will give you confidence, that will give you an identity to yourself, whatever you want to identify yourself as. And that will help you reduce your own mental health issues a lot.
Awesome. So to the last question of the discussion which I would like to ask you is, and I think so everyone would like to know here, is how did you realize that what you are, your sexuality is both of you, and how do you come out, how do you face the world, what are the challenges you face, and how did you have...
Is this so very... it's been well documented.
I think so all the people who actually belong to LGBTQ here, you must be the idol, both of you must be the idol of them, who is actually sitting here on the stage and representing the community here, which is a big thing. So what are the challenges you faced in your personal life? I think so everyone would like to know it here. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, this is not possible in few minutes because mine is a whole drama, This is a big drama. There's by the way, a movie coming on my life. So I think awesome. better everyone watch the movie.
Yeah, but they finally accepted. Also the family, etc., in a very good way, and they're doing incredible work. But you should, it's very dramatic. In my case, just very quickly, when I came out to my mom, I told my mom, I think I'm gay. My mom said, do you think or are you sure? Then I said, I'm sure I'm gay. So she said, okay, now what should we have for dinner? And that was it. And I was like, Mom, don't you want to do some drama?
How old you were?
I came out far too late in my early 20s. And she's like, why, what's the big deal? And I was like, but I waited so long to tell you. And she's like, that's your issue, not mine. And then I was like, don't you want to do some drama? I have all this script in my mind saying, if you don't accept, I'll say this, I'll say this. But she's like, what is there not to accept? So it was anticlimactic. The reason I'm saying this is because we also need to tell these stories. For every drama and saga that Manav has gone through, there are also accepting parents who accept like this. And that's my point to all of you out there. There's amazing stuff happening in our country. There are parents who are discriminating against their children, but there are also parents who are loving their queer children. There are schools and colleges in which people are being bullied. There are schools and colleges in which people are being celebrated. There are cities in which the state governments are hiring trans people. There are companies in which people are actively going out and seeking. So there are parts of this country, Northeast for example, Saddam Hanjamam runs an incredible organization called YAOL, which is doing sports, mental health, employability and so on. And what Mana is doing with Lakshya Trust as well is incredible. There's such amazing work happening all this time. So I want all of you to look at queerness through the lens of possibility. If you are queer yourself again, don't feel despondent. We're actually building an incredibly powerful, strong, exciting new India ahead. And if you're straight, as I said earlier, it is in your advantage and benefit to help co-create this. You'll win, you'll make more money, you'll also be very happy, and you'll get to hang out with all us cool queer people. It's win-win-win. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
You get good friends, you get good business opportunity also. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't be a loser,
Accept
be inclusive.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think so we should open ourselves for questions now because that is what we are looking forward to. Any questions?
This side was very noisy, so alright, but the questions come from here.
Please, anyone whoever wants to ask a question, you open it, please. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Prasad, and I really enjoyed how you answered all the questions. My question was, I had this question in my mind for a long time, that how a parent should be introduced or taught or normalized with this concept, because it has come into picture before 5 to 8 years before, if you look at it, people weren't that aware about this thing. Even I myself wasn't. I used to question what this and what not. But I got introduced with people. I educated myself, but I still find myself lost a lot of times how to understand. So yeah.
So Gaurav, yeah, you.
And I also had a second question. So should I wait for it or?
No, wait, na, others also have questions. Let's just answer this and go to other people. Yeah.
Question, then connect.
Is it deep and meaningful and will we die if we don't hear it? Then it's fine. Okay. So quickly we'll answer this. Parents need to be sensitized by talking directly and honestly to them confidently. You don't say, Mom, Dad, I have something to say that I don't think you like. No. What is there for them not to like? You have to say, Mom, Dad, there's something very important about me that I want to share with you. Right? So with confidence. Now number 2, very clearly, this might be something new to them, they may not know. You surround them with resource material. There are books, there are videos, there's the Satyamev Jayate video for so many years ago of Amir Khan, in which so many parents accept their queer children. What you show your parents are other parents who are positive role models. Ghazal Dhaliwal and her parents, who when they realized the daughter is trans, went from home to home in the village telling, my daughter is now, my son is now going to become my daughter, treat her with respect. You want to show them role models of amazing parents in India who have accepted, so that they understand what being a good parent looks like. Right? Show them movies, that's enough. Number 3, there are amazing parent support groups across our country. Swikar Parents is there are so many others. Connect them to Swikar Parents so they can talk to other parents of queer children so that they can have solidarity. Just as every queer person in this country needs to understand that we are not alone, there are many of us, Indian queer parents also need to understand that we are not alone. Imagine if 60 to 100 million of us are queer, then we have so many more queer parents, no? So, they're not alone, they need to be made comfortable. And what they need to understand is acceptance is cool. This, hey Bhagwan, ye kya hua, aur nikal jao ghar se is very outdated. They don't need to role model that. They need to see parents who are being inclusive and accepting. So, upfront that. But Manav, I know you might have other things to say. Good.
Hello? So even though we say that to nowadays people are accepting it, but when we go out, we see a lot of crowd who don't acknowledge the fact that people can be like this. And today's generation is far more conservative, like they should. Yes, like when we go out, when we talk with people, they don't acknowledge the fact. Like they bully others, and so how should we tell them that this is not the correct thing to do?
See, I think I mean the root cause of everything, as Parmesh also talked about, is ignorance. So we have to bring them out of that ignorance to give them that kind of an education. And there are steps, there are baby steps have been taken. And I think in the coming 2 days, all whatever issues you're talking about are definitely getting resolved, because the education system itself needs to be changed. We need to kind of include issues of LGBTQI. I mean, law is of course telling the schools to do that and colleges to do that. We had a judgment recently in the Chennai High Court. But like other than law also, that the system needs to include these issues. And I think in gradual or coming times, definitely we will see change. Change is already happening. I mean, during the pandemic, last 2 years, 2020, 21, I got calls from 14-year-old children, girls and boys wanting to come and interview me, and and their parents are supporting them. So there is definitely changes being seen. Yeah, you might have found some random cases of bullying. I mean, bullying happens with heterosexuals also. Forget about with the LGBT community, it happens. But we need to take steps to see how we could get the next generation to change.
I would like to answer this question also, that usually LGBTQ have something which is called as complex or low confidence, because they inside think that they're somewhere wrong. So that is why they are bullied. So if you have any friends around who are LGBTQ, so ask them to be confident from inside and face the world and just face their gender or whatever they are, that yes, I am. And if you have any problem, please get lost. That is how you're supposed to face the bullies. So you have to be confident inside that whatever you are, not only with the gender but with the body issue, with any whatever issues you have to be confident in your skin, in yourself, and what you are, and just face it. Nobody gonna ever bully you.
Thank you so much. Hi, delightful session so far. And you are super charming, by the way. Okay. Like a serious question I want to ask. You talked about pronouns, yeah, and I totally get that it's a form of respect that you're giving the other person. You address it according to what they want you to address. But in USA, you must be knowing, there is a whole, it is not just he, her, they, thing. It's exploded now to ze, her, fee. For some people want them to be addressed as dogs, as parrots. It's just gone into a totally different sphere. My question is this: is this kind of a thing then unnecessarily makes it a target of ridicule, or it's easy for people who are kattar, as they say, to ridicule the people then for a demand which is very basic. Give me respect. Should you LGBTQ community also consider making it something which other people can understand, and it doesn't kind of make it an easy target of ridicule? That's my question.
No, so thanks for that. I think it's a very important question. First, it is us LGBTQI community, because LGBTQIA, A is allies. I think you're an ally. So then it is us. So it's not your community, it's us. So we're all in it, which means it's our community. That's number one. Right? Everyone here is part of LGBTQIA community. Even if you're straight, hashtag so sorry, you're still part of the queer community because you're an ally. Correct? So we're all queer. So it's our thing. That's number one. Number two, pronouns help everyone. Pronouns are not just for queer people, pronouns are for straight people also. If you build a ramp on the road, on the side of the road, of course it is for someone with a wheelchair. But tomorrow if you have your baby on that in a pram, you also use a ramp. No, you don't say this ramp is for disabled people only, I will struggle with my baby. So when you create facilities for one kind of people, you create it for everyone. And pronouns are for even straight people. There are many straight people who are not comfortable with the pronouns that they're assigned. So pronouns are meant for everyone to feel comfortable in being called what they want to be called. That's number two. Number three, I am a firm believer, we're in India. We have thousands and thousands of gods and goddesses. We remember characters in Amar Chitrakatha who are so many. Surely we can remember if from 5 they become 10, so what? So I don't think more pronouns is going to lead to ridicule. I think that's an assumption. In America also, since you said America, I know many people live in America who remember the whole Marvel universe. The Marvel universe also keeps on expanding. One day there's Miss Marvel, one day it's Hulk, one day it's She-Hulk, one day it's whatever. People are fans of wrestling, people are fans of this. People remember things when they matter to them. So the question is, what matters to people and how it should matter? That's number 3. Let me finish. So I think I'm a big believer that more is more. I don't think that more leads to this. Why should something which is so important to someone be simplified just to clear some assumptions that some people might have that having more of this will make it simpler for some people. So I'm fundamentally disagree with you in this. I think that when you find a word and pronoun that you fit in, whatever the pronoun is, for someone it could be they, for someone it could be she, for someone it could be z. The magic you feel, I have a word that I belong to, is indescribable. So to reduce that by taking that away from someone, just to simplify things for some other people, मुझे तो नहीं करना है. That's my answer. The world will learn how to deal with so many things. Majority of people 50 years ago thought that women shouldn't vote. They said if women vote, the sky will fall. The world learned how to deal with women voting. The world, 50 years ago, majority of the people were racist. I mean, let's not talk about that. But still, people learn how to change. I think expansiveness is what makes us human and what makes human progress possible. That's my thing. Yeah. Expanding idea of expectancy. Yeah. So I'm not a reductionist. Yeah. I rambled for that. But we'll take this offline and we'll talk after the session. Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that beautiful discussion. I think it started with the topic gender divide. It came to respect, and it was a journey. It was a journey of expanding your awareness. And I still have the goosebumps. And I think we did not. I think I'm so sorry to say this, but you did not justify the gender divide, because in the end you united us all of the 3.
That's awesome.
You all agree or not? Thank you so much. When we have some moments that we have captured throughout. Yeah.
Everyone take photos, put it on Instagram, Twitter is around still. Put it on Instagram,
Twitter is not around now.
please tag us.
And if you have any questions, you can just ask one-to-one as an informal chat.
All on social media.
Yeah. So the session is over, and now you can ask one-to-one question as an informal chat, whatever they are here. Yeah.
I just want to present